My Telegram channel has a lot of interesting stories. Link in the description.
You were born on the dusty, sun-baked island of Sicily way back in the early 1900s, kid. They hammered it into your thick skull from day one that honor's the be-all and end-all. Nah, scratch that. Honors when you grab your rusty blade and carve up the no-good neighbor who boosted your prized goat right out of the pen. Village life? Pure grind, clouds of red dirt kicking up under your boots, bone-deep poverty gnawing at your gut, and that ironclad code called Omertà. Keep your trap shut, cause silence is golden, literally. Yap too much about the wrong stuff, and they'll bury your sorry ass deep in some forgotten olive grove, where the roots'll tangle with your bones forever. Your old man, that slick operator Gabalotta, is the classic go-between, squeezing the poor peasants and kissing up to the fat cat latifundista who owns half the damn island. He takes a cut from every sweaty back and produces jack squat. Talk about a sweet gig, zero effort, max profit. You're coming up in this world, learning the ropes from the shadows. Then comes the big moment, initiation night. They prick your finger with a sharp pin, let the crimson blood drip slow onto a faded holy card of some saint. Flick a match, set the thing ablaze. You clutch that flaming paper in your trembling hand, swearing eternal loyalty through gritted teeth. Boom, you're officially a man of honor, or maybe just a burnt-fingered schmuck who's now part of this hush-hush boys club where the dues are paid in blood and bullets. Your starter kit? First up, the Lupara, that beast of a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, chopped down to hide easy under your coat. Perfect for lurking in the twisted orange groves, setting up ambushes on those windy dirt paths. 2 thunderous blasts, then reloading's a real pain in the ass, taking what feels like forever in the heat of the moment. But hey, if you're quick on the draw, 2's all you need to send a message. Then there's the Coppola, that flat-brimmed cap every wise guy sports. Pull it low over your brow, shadowing your eyes, and you're the dangerous hoodlum everyone steers clear of. Shove it back on your head, and poof, you're just another humble farmer tilling the soil, blending in like a chameleon. Ultimate street camouflage, baby. Don't forget the knife, sharp as a razor, multipurpose as hell. 1 minute you're slicing up a hunk of pecorino cheese for lunch, the next you gutting some fool who crossed the line. And those rosary beads? They're your ticket to piety and a rock-solid alibi. Hey, officer, I was praying at the chapel, ask Padre. The good father always backs you up, after all, he forks over the Piso protection money too, keeping his flock safe from the wolves. Fast forward to the 1920s. That loudmouth Mussolini's clawing his way to the top in Italy, and pretty soon, he's gonna be a thorn in your side, big time. But for now, you're the kingpin of the local market, not that Wall Street crap, wise ass, the real deal bazaar, piles of juicy fruits, fresh veggies, slimy fish flopping on ice. Wanna set up your rickety stall and peddle your goods? Better cough up the tribute, or as we call it, the Piso. Skimp on the payment? Tomorrow morning, your cart's a bonfire, and you're hobbling around on a busted leg, nursing bruises from a friendly reminder. Your entry-level hustle, strolling door-to-door as the Piso collector. Flash that toothy grin at the shopkeepers, and they grin right back, sliding envelopes stuffed with cash across the counter. Everybody's smiling, everybody's content. It's almost like a legit enterprise, skirting the edges of the law without diving full in. But for the deadbeats who think they can stiff you, they get the Sicilian special, a warning straight out of the mob playbook. Maybe a bloated, dead goat dumped on their doorstep at dawn, or a rotten fish crammed into their mailbox, stinking up the joint. Classic marketing, mob style, guaranteed results, no refunds. Your overlord? The Don himself. This guy's too high and mighty to soil his manicured hands. He lounges in his plush armchair like a Roman emperor, sipping espresso and decreeing life or death with a flick of his pinky. Of snag gin that throne for yourself someday. Buckle up, cause the roads littered with stiffs, corpses of rivals, traitors, and anyone dumb enough to get in your way. Vendetta's the name of the game, that age-old blood feud where grudges simmer for generations. Say your neighbor whacked your cousin over some petty squabble, hell, nobody even remembers the original beef, it was 3 grandpas ago. But honor? It demands you even the score. So you lay low by the village well, heart pounding, waiting for his son to show. 2 shotgun blasts echo through the hills, and bam, justice served. Now his grandkids got your boy's name on a hit list. Round and round it goes, this vicious cycle of revenge, baked into Sicilian DNA like garlic in Mama's sauce. But then the fascists crash the party. Mussolini's black shirts decide the Mafia's nothing but messy chaos disrupting their shiny new order. Raids hit hard, roundups in the dead of night, arrests by the truckload, dogs sniffing out hideouts. Your don gets collared, thrown in the clink. Honor? What a joke when you're dodging bloodhounds through the scrub. Time to bail, America's calling, land of opportunity and endless streets paved with greenbacks. You book passage on a creaky steamer out of Palermo, cramming into steerage with a horde of desperate souls. The whole stinks of vomit, sweat, and raw fear, rocking for 2 brutal weeks on stormy seas. You choke down stale hardtack biscuits, hallucinating about striking it rich. Finally, Ellis Island looms, endless queues snaking through the halls, docs prodding you like cattle, barking questions in broken English. Your tongue-twisting Sicilian name? Too exotic, they chop it down, and now you're Vito, plain and simple. Welcome to Little Italy, New York, familiar faces from the old country, same cutthroat rules, but amplified, more loot to grab, more slugs flying through the air. First hustle stateside, grunt work as a loader on the bustling market docks, having crates till your back screams. Honest labor? Gimme a break, that lasts about a week before you're back to shaking down vendors for protection, old habits din hard. Same racket, new zip code. New York in the roaring 20s, prohibition drops like a bomb. Uncle Sam bans booze nationwide. What a bunch of boneheaded saps. They just handed you wise guys a golden ticket. Whiskey's rarer than diamonds, fetching prices that'd make your eyes water. Folks are desperate, they'll shell out fortunes, slit throats, or take a dirt nap for just 1 bottle of the good stuff. And you're the supplier, hooking them up with the forbidden nectar. Your new boss man's a don straight outta Calabria, iron grip on the ports. Ships sneak in Canadian hooch under cover of darkness. You rendezvous at midnight, unloading crates with a crew of shadows, hearts racing from the thrill. Local flatfoots. Bought and paid for, looking the other way for a fat envelope. Most feds are on the take too, the holdouts. They end up taking a one-way swim in the Hudson, feet encased in concrete galoshes, glugging river water till the bubbles stop. Bootlegger sounds classy, but you're just a glorified smuggler, hauling liquid gold in trucks rigged with false bottoms and hidden compartments. Get flagged down by a nosy cop. Rule number 1, draw first, ask questions never. Speakeasies are the hot spots, clandestine bars tucked behind phony walls in basements or back rooms. Whisper the password through a peephole, and you're in, swinging, jazz blaring from the band, thick cigar smoke hagging like fog, flapper dames in sparkling sequins dancing the Charleston. You post up at the door, muscles tensed, watching for trouble. Feds bust in. 2 sharp raps on the pipe, and the joint clears out faster than a rat from a sinking ship, patrons scrambling through secret exits. But competition's a killer, literally. The mix from Ireland are eyeing your turf with green envy, scheming to muscle in. The Hebrew gangs want their pound of flesh too. Hell, everybody's salivating over the big cheese. How do you push back? Enter the Tommy gun, aka the Chicago Typewriter, that chugging beast with a drum mag holding up to 100 rounds. Pull the trigger, and it spits lead so fast, the whole block turns into a blood-soaked abattoir in 3 heartbeats. Gang wars erupt like fireworks, Chicago's a war zone, New York streets run red, Detroit's no picnic either. Every damn week, some poor sap turns up stuffed in a car trunk, riddled with holes and stinking of decay. Tabloids eat it up, splashing gangster mayhem, headlines like it's the latest pulp cereal. You're a celebrity in pinstripes, till the paparazzi's flashing at your cold slab in the morgue. Then the big crash hits Wall Street in '29. America's economy tanks, folks losing shirts left and right, but the Mafia? We're swimming in dough. When the country's hit tin rock bottom, we rise like cream, people drown their sorrows in more booze, blow their last dimes on bets, chase oblivion to forget the breadlines. You sling that sweet escape, charging premium rates for the privilege. Jump to 1930, the Castellammarese war explodes. Masseria versus Maranzano, 2 grizzled old mustachioed dons duking it out for control of the Big Apple. You're stuck in the meat grinder, dodging crossfire from both sides. Bullets zip everywhere, turning alleyways into kill zones. Corpses pile up on sidewalks like trash after New Year's Eve, cops just coned in and shrugged in, business as usual in the underworld. You get framed, by your own damn crew, no less. Masseria pegs you for a squealer, a rat singeing to the feds. Total bunk, but in this game, a whisper's as good as proof. Set up at your favorite pasta joint, you settle in for a plate of steaming spaghetti, sauce red as blood. Door kicks open, 4 goons storm in, Thompson's chattering. Not there for the garlic bread. You flip the heavy oak table like a shield, crash to the floorboards. A hail of lead, 100 slugs, rips through the air where your head was seconds ago. Macaroni splatters the walls, salving your hide in a messy miracle. Ceilings drip in marinara, you're sprawled in the sawdust, heart pounding, but brayer thin. Divine intervention? Nah, those mooks shoot like inebriated monkeys, couldn't hit a barn door. You switch sides, pledging to Maranzano's outfit. Masseria's days are numbered, walking a dead man. April 31, some dive on Coney Island. Joe's playing poker, toothpick dangling from his lip. For button men barge in, unload. Boss takes 6 in the pump, toothpick clatters to the floor. Reporters geek out over the poetic justice. Maranzano crowns himself boss of all bosses, struts in around with that fancy Latin tag, Capo di tutti capi. All pomp and ancient Rome vibes, he fancies himself Julius freaking Caesar reincarnate. But empires crumble fast. September 31, Maranzano gets the business end, ambushed in his swanky Park Avenue office, hacked with 14 knife thrusts, then plugged with 4 slugs for insurance. Italians? We don't half-ass it, overkill's our middle name. That sparks the night of the Sicilian Vespers, coast to coast, old-school dons drop like flies, whacked in hits orchestrated by the up-and-comers. Fresh blood floods the ranks. You skate through the carnage unscathed. Mazel tov, you're promoted to Capo, running your own crew, carving out your slice of the pie. Harlem's your playground, the numbers racket, that suckerbait lotto for the downtrodden. Joes and Yanes bet their last pennies on lucky digits, you pocket thousands daily. House always wins, math's your silent partner. Your squad, foot soldiers, dumb as rocks but loyal to a fault, cannon fodder when the heat's on. Then the consigliere, that sly fox with brains for days, always plot in, potential Judas, so keep him glued to your hip. The commission's the new order, 5 powerhouse families dividend New York like a pizza, hashing out beefs peacefully. Almost peacefully. Credit Lucky Luciano for corporatizing crime, board meetings, votes, backroom deals. Democracy among hitmen? Downright enlightened. Home front, wife is pure Sicilian stock, from a solid clan. She simmers that killer tomato sauce, turns a blind eye to the late nights and bloodstains. Kids? They buy the line that daddy's a straight-arrow businessman. Technically accurate, your biz just involves more body bags than boardrooms. Side piece, a leggy blonde from the vaudeville circuit, all glamour and giggles. She figures you're a big-time producer, yeah, producing funerals and alibis. Details? Who needs M? Your nightclub's the crown jewel. On paper, some stooge owns it, but the street knows it's yours. Pulsating and jazz, couples twirling on the dance floor, rivers of illicit hooch flow in. Boys in blue swing by, guzzle freebies, and vanish. The machine's well-oiled. Club doubles as your money laundromat, dirty greenbacks from rackets pour in, get scrubbed clean through the till, emerge legit. Bookkeeping's crucial, second only to marksmanship in the mob skill set. FBI honcho J. Edgar Hoover swears up and down there's no such animal as the Mafia. Handy denial, you're a phantom racketeer with Swiss bank rolls. Superstitions run deep, you dangle that cornicello amulet round your neck to ward off the evil eye. Looks ridiculous, like a tiny red horn, but skip it and you're twitchy as a cat in a dog pound. Friday the 13th? No deals, bad juju. Mondays? Prime time for bees. Mob wisdom, don't question it. Betrayal's the poison pill, your ride-or-die pals moonlighting for a rival family. You catch wind by accident. He sniffs you out knowing. Now it's a deadly sprint, who pulls the trigger first? Set up a parley at a neutral chow house. He flashes pearly whites, you mirror it. Waiter serves up fish, bam, light bulb. In our world, fish means he's sleeping with the fishes, code for a watery grave. You hurl the table, yank your heater, and blaze away. Friendship? Buried with the body. No more. Close call, your chauffeur eats a barrage, turn to hamburger. You showed late by a hair, fate's quirky save. Now you're fashionably tardy on purpose, paranoia cranking to 11. Swap wheels every dawn, zigzag routes like a pro, bunk with a gat under the pillow. Wifey? She's packing, too, right beside you. Mob romance at its finest. Stress chews you up, ulcers eating your gut like acid, can't handle spicy peppers anymore. Rule a criminal empire, but your stomach's a traitor. Cosmic joke. Deportation fever hits, feds shipping non-citizen wops back to Italy, straight into Mussolini's fascist furnace. Out of the frying pan, into the inferno. Quick fix, sham wedding to a Yankee dame, snag gin and that precious passport. But trouble brews, taxman cometh. Can't pin murders on you, but dodgy ledgers? That's your Achilles. Al Capone's already rotting in the big house for 11 years over book cooking. Pony up to the IRS or grease the best shysters money can buy. Inevitably, you land in Sing Sing, Cell 2 North. From kingpin to con number. But even behind bars, you're VIP, guards smuggle in gourmet from your fave joint. Benjamins bend rules everywhere. Fam outside thrives on your hidden stash, buried treasures in secret spots, map in your head only. Leverage, while you breathe, they keep you kicking. Parole comes via model inmate status, code for fat bribes. Back on the pavement, but the game's evolved. Prohibition's toast in 33, 21st Amendment greenlights booze. Your golden goose? Cooked? Pivot or perish, infiltrate unions, lock down the longshoreman. Wanna dock that ship, unload cargo? Pay the vig. Clock in for work? Pay up. Stiff us. Your freight takes a dive into the drink. Narcotics beckon, heroin shipping from Marseille's French Connection, a filthy new payday. Even you balk, too grimy, but the dough whispers sweet nothings, and you cave. Years pile on, you're creaking, young punk circling like sharks, sniffing weakness for your throne. They wait for a fumble, or engineer one. Knees grind like gravel, backs a constant ache. Conscience? Snipped clean in Sicily, along with your innocent kid days. Church every Sunday, kneel, confess. Forgive me, Father, for I whacked 5 souls this month. Padre waves it away with Hail Marys, your hefty donation patches the leaky roof. Absolution on sale. No fairy tale curtain call in this life. Options: croak peaceful in silk sheets, long shot, catch a slug to the dome on some rainy street, odds on favorite, or fade in a cell from old age, may compromise. Cut to 1936, chilling, in your eatery, door swings wide. 2 familiar mugs stroll in, ex-family, turn traitors. Clock ticks down. Hand creeps for your piece, arthritic, too sluggish. Twin reports crack the air. Toothpick tumbles from your lips. You slump, world fading to black. Rags scream, gangland hit. Cops rubber stamp it closed. Widow veils in black, airs divvy secret vaults. Mistress latches onto fresh meat. The grind never stops. Lesson etched in stone, trust zilch, especially kinfolk. Did you like this story? If the fate of mafiosi touched your heart, give it a like. That's the best thank you for all my efforts.
My Telegram channel has a lot of interesting stories. Link in the description.